Good afternoon, friends. Happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, December 10th, and I'm Nancy Thompson, your creative link to creation. So come on in. Say hello. Let me know where you're from if you're new to my channel so I can welcome you. And today I'm in this mode of making like table favors and little gifty type things. So yeah, so I've got some fun things to share. If you need some last minute Christmas ideas for your table, or maybe even if you need a gift. So let's get started, okay? And if you're joining in, come say hello and let me know where you're from. I'm late because I was having trouble connecting. I don't know what's going on with technology these days, but let me, what do I have here? So I kind of found something the other day while I was out shopping at our local Marshall's, and I fell in love with these. You know me, I love tea, and I forgot to open up this package, so I want to share with you what I found shopping. Okay, hello Shirley, welcome. It is, I don't know how cold it is. It's very cold. Maybe it's warmed up, but it's very snowy here today. And I'm hoping tomorrow is a tea day, a crafter's tea day. So let's pray that the roads are decent for the next 2 days, because we have full houses. So Friday there's still a couple spots open. So if you're watching and you're local to me, give me a message and see if I can fit you in, okay? All right, so let's see, what do I want to do? So this is the box of tea that I found at our local Marshall's, and I loved it. I love like all the little sayings on it: a cup of goodness, a cup of peace, a cup of inspiration, dreams, love, sunshine, comfort, energy, and tranquility. I just thought, and they hold, let's see, let's grab the cup of peace. They hold, I think there's 10 bags in each one of these. So I thought they would make, I was trying to come up with some type of packaging for these. So it took me a little bit to figure it out, but I did. So we're going to make that, as well as some table favors today. Look at these adorable, you see them on this side. They're just a little adorable, easy table favors. Maybe I can kind of go like this a little bit. And I know it's a dark jury day, so my lighting is really bad. Let's see if I can maybe move this out of the way a little bit more. See if that helps with the shadows. It's the shadows that are really bad today. That's what happens when we live in a dreary upstate New York. Okay, but aren't they adorable? I think they're just cute, and they're so easy to make. Okay, so I think we're going to start with the tea holder, okay? So this is the tea holder that I came up with. It's just a little, the box fits right in there, and oh, that lighting is even worse. Let's see. Let me turn off the overhead and see if that helps. Maybe that might help a little bit. And I'm not sure. I was running late with trying to connect, and I didn't really look at my lighting that well. I think I need to get some newer lights or something. Maybe if I turn this off and turn the overhead back on. Plus, I blew a bulb. Let's see if that helps. That's even bad. Okay, so if you're watching this, just skip over this first 5 minutes of it. Okay, I think maybe we're better off with this on and just try to wing it. All right, we'll go with that. Okay, this is a really easy thing to make. Hi, Colleen, welcome. All right, so we're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 7 inches wide, 11 inches long, okay? And simple scoring measurements, okay? So we're going to first score at 2 inches, And this is like a 3x3 inch box, okay? And this treat holder really could fit. You could stick like even a bag of candy in there, you know, put it in a cello bag. You could fill it up just with plain tea bags as well. I think you could just do anything. So 2 inches, 5 inches is our next one. And then 7 inches. Okay, let's do 7 inches. And that is it. Okay, and then we're going to turn it on its side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go 2 inches, 5 inches, and that's it. Okay. All right, so we've got this. So we're done with that. And we're going to, what are we going to do, Nancy? We're going to just do some cutting here, okay? Well, we're going to burnish. Let's burnish this, our 2 long ones right here. And actually, I don't want to burnish this last, this was the 7-inch one. I don't want to burnish that. I really should have cut into this. So I want to, we're just going to cut into this right here on both sides, okay? And then we can burnish this fold, the 5-inch fold, score mark, and the 2-inch, okay? Because we did 2 and 5, and we did do 7, but we should have only cut up to the score line there. Does that make sense? Okay, we're also going to cut into this one. We're going to make some tabs here, so we're going to make a tab there. So we want to have like a little bit of space on there, and then we're going to cut straight up again and make this one our tab as well. So we're kind of creating that box, okay? We're going to flip it around, and because these pieces here are the sides of your box, and then these are our tabs. So always kind of keep that in mind. Your tabs are what you want to angle. Just kind of think about the process a little bit when you're creating a box. And this is kind of my own design, so because I just kind of started with the box. It took me a couple of tries to get it right. Okay, so let's start with the easiest part. We're gonna fold this because this is kind of like, so can you see, this is kind of like gonna be the back side of the box right there. Okay, so let's take some liquid glue. This is the inside. We're gonna put some liquid glue on this flap here. Fold that over. It doesn't matter which side you start with. They both have to be folded over. And I already cut my designer paper, okay? So I forgot to show what designer paper we're using today. We're using this Christmas, it's called, I think it's called Tags and More. Christmas Tags and More, I think is what it's called. I don't have the thing. It's the 6x6 patterns, and I think you get these 4 sheets of die cuts, okay, which are great to use. You get 2 each of these 2 pieces here, and then you're going to get, I think it's 4 each of these designs here. Here's the front and the back, because I've used so much of it. And then we've got this one right here. There's the back side. And then we have this one right there, okay? So it's kind of fun paper, and it comes in 6x6. And right now, this paper is unavailable and will be back in stock next week, okay? Hi, Joan, welcome. And hi, Colleen, welcome. Snowy here too, Joan. So, all right, so that's the 6x6 paper. And what was I gonna say? And today's free shipping, okay? The next 3 days, today started free shipping. So if you have an order, it has to be a minimum of $75 in order to take advantage of the free shipping. We're gonna actually add this on next. We're gonna use this design. Wanted to see what this one looked like. So take advantage of that. Just go online, and all you got to do is pay sales tax. The 70. There's a lot of great things in the last chance list that are in the holiday catalog. And paper pumpkin. If you're a paper pumpkin subscriber, you could take advantage of that too. We're going to actually use one of the dies. There's a lot of paper pumpkin full kits and refills that are on sale. Yes, they're on sale, up to 50% off. And I placed my order this morning and totally forgot to get any, but I guess I'm was not meant to be. I'd ordered enough stuff. So, okay, there we go. Okay, so we've kind of have added designer paper there. So let's go and do our flaps, okay? Let's get our flaps glued to the side of our boxes. So we're just going to start adding some liquid glue on our flaps. All right, just take your time with it so you don't get glue all over. And you want to create a nice sharp angle here, 45-degree angle with your box side, okay? You want it nice there and across there. Let's go over and do this side here. These really do come together quick. So my designer paper here was 2 7/8 by 5 7/8. So there's you use like a 1.5 pieces of the 6 by 6 is what it takes. If you're using 12 by 12, you can get a lot of these boxes out of the 12 by 12. Okay, one more, and I gotta kind of get, I should have glued these both at the same time. Now it's awkward. To reach in there and add some glue. So take my advice and put the glue on both tabs at the same time here when you're doing this. Okay, look at that. So we're getting our box put together. Now let's add our designer paper. So our designer paper is 1 7/8 tall by 2 7/8 long. Okay, it's really easy measurements. So we're just showing like a hint of that garden green cardstock there. And I kind of want my paper to look like it's going upside down. Okay, it looks like the dots. I guess it doesn't matter. So let's add this up here. It over, and then add a panel here. So I'm designing this one just a little bit different than my sample. And the top of my box, I didn't get that too square, so I'm going to just trim that edge off a little bit. Okay, so what are we doing with this, Nancy? Yes, what did I do with that? Oh, here we go. So I took one of the papers. Which one was it? Oh, this one. This one right here. And I just cut one of these rectangles out, one of these images. So, and I actually trimmed it down a little bit, okay? Because I wanted to kind of fit in here and not take up the whole back side of this. So we're going to add that onto here. And, you know, I don't even know what size this came out. Where's my ruler here? So this is actually 1 7/8 by 2 3/4. So this is going to be 2 inches by 2 7/8. Okay, the cardstock is. So let's add this onto here. Okay. I think this is what I want to do. So this is my thought. I'm going to put this up here and tie some ribbon on. And then I used our paper pumpkin dies, which are, this is one of the, every quarter, Paper Pumpkin comes out with a set of dies that coordinates with the three, with 3 kits, 3 months of kits, okay? So they all, like the images, the stamp images will the die cut images will coordinate with what's in the kit. Okay, now if I can get this out of this package, it's the glue sticks. So I die cut a tag and then the word joy out of here. So I've got those, and I thought I would just add that here, but I didn't like, so I just simply, I actually ran it through twice, okay? I think I want to use this one. I ran it through again, and I put it, I took this end and flipped it around so it was down here, okay? And so it would cut off from that. It would cut that part off, all right? So it was a little bit shorter. I hope that makes sense, all right? So we create our frame there, and then I think we'll put the red joy on there. So that's what I think we're gonna do. So let's do that. So they have like images that will coordinate with definitely the paper pumpkin. So these are always available while supplies last. And tomorrow they will have a whole new set of dies that start out that will be available for the next that coordinate with the next 3 months. So January, February, and March kits. There'll be a set of dies that start to be coordinating with those kits. Okay, so you can use them for a lot of things, you know, for different alternatives. Okay, so let's try to get this situated on here so it looks even. All right, I think I like that. So we're gonna add that there, and let's add some ribbon here. So we're pulling in this real red shiny ribbon. Okay, it's got like a shimmer to it is what it does, and this is actually on the last chance list, unfortunately. So red ribbon is going away. I like to be able to have different colors available. I think we will tie a bow, so I'm gonna just kind of make a loop and get that over there. Okay, so let's just tie a bow up here. And I want this to be twisted. Trying to get, one side is shinier than the other. So just trying to twist my ribbon around a little bit so it comes out shiny side up. All right, I don't think that's bad. Let's shorten up our bows here. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna bring it over to the side. How's this gonna look? Yeah, I think this will be good. Let's figure out our bow here. Okay, let's there we go. Give our bow a trim off here. Okay, let's add some dimensionals on with this. My desk is a mess. Okay. Okay, what do you guys think? Are you liking this? Or do you feel like the treat holder is too complicated or fairly easy to make? And I don't know if I can do a tutorial on this. It might take me a little bit of time. Let's see. Let's just kind of thinking like that. Let's put our T in. All right. I think we need to raise this up a little bit, and maybe raise this up a little bit more too. Okay, I like that. What do you think? Do you like the bow there? if I should put the bow down here instead. I guess we'll leave it like that. I don't know. I can't decide, everybody. Anybody got an opinion there? Because but I thought the red would look good up there. Well, let's just kind of see. We could do like a wrap around and do this. I think we'll leave it up there. Okay, let's leave it there and let's add this on with dimensionals, okay? Let's do this. And then we're going to add a little bit of bling. And I got a little note. Let's see. The gems, these gems that we're going to use are going to be back in stock in January, which is good. So we have these are from the September through December mini catalog, okay? They're with the traditional of Christmas suite there. They're the traditional sparkling sequins, and I really haven't used them. So I need to start using them. So let's see, I'm thinking, I don't know if I like the green with this paper, but maybe the gold. Let's add the gold. I'm gonna just use they're flat and they're glittery. I think we're gonna just go like this and add like one on the top and one on the bottom, the little ones. Just gonna go like that, just a little bit of gold bling. Okay, what do you think? You could really, if you wanted to, you could put white paper back here or put it just a smaller piece. If you wanted a message, or you could put a message, you know, inside the box as well. You could make this a flip thing for a message as well. I think it's good. Maybe it'd be good on the other side, the bow. I don't know. A little late for that. Well, you know what? It will slide, I believe, because there's no okay, that looks better. I think getting that knot over off the box a little bit looks better. Okay, project number 1 done. Yay! Because so there's the 2 right there. What do you think? Which one do you like better? Do you like with the nice bow down there, or is this okay up there? But anyways, so I think they make kind of cute gifts. And these I just got at a local Marshall store, and I think they're sweet. All right, let's move on to our table favors. Who likes to make table favors? Either like if you're going out to lunch with friends. Lots of times I make stuff when I'm going out to lunch with friends. And take a table favor with me during the holidays. So, all right, where's my paper? So these are the cutest little treats, little trees here. They're simple and they're easy to make. And so let me walk you through that. This larger one, I did 6x6, and I'm like, I went to go cut a piece of 6x6 in this pattern, and I'm like, I had a 5x5 piece cut, and I'm like, let's try that. So I think it's kind of cute to make different sizes of this, and this are so easy. So we're starting with a 5x5, and the pattern that I want on the outside, we are going to just simply fold our paper in half in both directions. Okay, so just take and fold in half in both directions. All right, just give it a little burnish. And then I'm going to flip it so this is facing up. And we're going to go corner to corner with this, okay, in both directions. We're going to make a triangle this way, open it back up, and make another triangle this way. All right, I think I did this right. And we're going to open it up. Oh, yeah, I did do this right. Okay, so when you open it up, you see how those triangles just kind of start to indentate. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring it in. See, it's kind of like I don't know, it's origami, and you're just gonna create this, all right? Kind of like those Pac-Man, you know, like when we were making like the gum chains, gum wrapper chains and stuff like that. That's kind of what you want. So you've got your center part indented. There's still a fold here, and we're gonna use that. We're using all our folds. But the main thing I wanna make sure, can you see like this inside folds, that they meet well, okay? It just helps your tree look better. And then I'm just gonna burnish these folds one more time like this in that center fold, okay? So you can kind of see, you want those two inner folds there to line up as well. Okay, so what first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna bring up one of these folds, okay? Because there's like, you know, there's lots of folds here. We're gonna bring it up, and we're just going to kind of like, maybe, let me try to open this up. We're gonna kind of open this up, and we're gonna flatten this down. So where this fold is, we want it to meet that center where those two other folds meet. You see that? Just kind of naturally bring it down. Here's your center fold, and there's those two pieces that met together on the fold, and we're going to kind of create like this tree-like thing, okay? So we're going to then flip our paper and bring up the next little fold there, all right? And we're gonna keep working our way around and folding these triangles down, okay? Creating these secondary triangles, all right? So I'm going to flip it, and you know, it doesn't matter. You could fold, you know, you could have these all stacked up, and you're just folding. Just bring up one of these folds, okay? And we're going to do this 4 times. So this is number 3. You just gently try to press open this center point here, okay? And just give it a press. And then here's our final one. Let's just go like this and press this open, bring our folded point down to meet. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Because no tree is perfect. So that's what we created, all right? We got all these points here. So we're gonna cut off what's the inside. We're gonna cut this off flush. All right, I'm gonna cut off all these extra points here because that's what's gonna make our tree stand, all right? Now, what I like to do is I just grab 2 of the folds together and I cut them both at the same time. So we're going to, on the fold, about a 1/2 inch, and I just eyeball it. I'm gonna make 3 1/2-inch cuts. Don't, just like about, you know, a little over 1/4 to 3/8 into the fold, okay? Are you all with me so far? Does this make sense? I don't know if you can see these. So here's like a fold there. Here's another cut and another cut, okay? So we're gonna do that on all the folds. We're gonna do that 1, 2, do that 4 times. And I'm doing 2 layers at once. If you wanna only do 1, you can. It doesn't have to be an exact science, because we're creating the branches on our tree, okay? 2, 3. If you want them a little closer together, you could do that as well. All right, so I've kind of got like these. So we're gonna just separate where I've cut them, all right? I'm gonna pull those apart. Now, I'm gonna take one of these cuts where this point is, and I have an old stylus tool. You could use like a round toothpick. You need something kind of sturdy, maybe a chopstick or something, or you can just kind of use your nail, and I just kind of give it a little curl. Can you see that? Oh, this lighting is so bad. Can you see that little curl there? Maybe I can bring a little bit more lighting over here. Let's see if this will work. Oh, that's in front of the camera, Nancy. All right, so I'm just kind of just curling my paper a little bit. You see those curls there? It's hard to capture it on the camera. Hopefully maybe when I take a picture. And I'm just going to go down on each of these where we've cut into our tree, okay? So there's two of the panels done. So you're just kind of curling that paper. I think I just kind of used my nails to do it, my fingers, to curl it as well. So if you just kind of go from the one corner and just curl it around. And it doesn't take long to make a bunch of these. And then we're going to finish it off with a star on top. And you could even make this into an ornament as well. You could string some ribbon up through the center, maybe add a bead. I'd probably add, I couldn't find any beads because I was originally wanting to make it into an ornament. And I didn't have any beads in the house. And so anyways, I got rid of all that in my stash. So then I just kind of separate all the columns apart, all right? And that's all there is to it. Look at that. Simple and easy. You see it on the side. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So all I did is I glued a couple of stars. Where's my stars? I just had a whole bunch of stars left over from a project that I had saved. And I took a hot glue gun and I put a dollop of glue on there and stuck my toothpick on there, and then did a little bit more glue and stuck another star on the other side is all I did. And then trimmed away any excess glue, okay, in between the star points. So really easy. You could use punch foil, and then I just stuck it, there's kind of like a natural hole there from the point, from all the folding and everything, and just added my star on there. Aren't they just sweet? I think they are. I think it, you know, you could use all kinds of different paper. I would not use cardstock. It would be way too hard to do. You definitely want a thin designer paper or some type of paper. It could even be wrapping paper, okay? You got some scrap wrapping paper left over. You could easily do this as well. So, all right. Well, I hope, hi Betty, welcome. I hope this has inspired you today. Maybe make some table favors. Maybe, you know, decorate up a box of tea as well, or some other treats in there for those last minute gifts that you want to have on hand. We always need a last minute gift, right? So don't forget, you can order at createwithnancy.com because it is free shipping today. Yay! Free shipping for today, tomorrow, and Friday. But order early because everything is while supplies last. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe to my newsletter because, yeah, I don't know if I can do a tutorial on this. You're gonna have to watch the video. But anyways, I will try my darndest to see if I can make a template with this, okay? To create that. I might be able to after things slow down a little bit. Oh, good, Colleen. I'm glad you like them. So thank you so much for joining me today. And come back. Wait, hang on. There we go. So come back on Friday. I should have, I think I can do it. I think we're going to do some more fun projects like this for the holidays. And then I'll be focusing on stuff for the new mini catalog, okay? What do I have? I think a gift card holder. I've got mine, and there was some other idea. Oh, maybe a paper star. Okay, I've got this star idea as well to make a star ornament, which you could do in a lot of different sizes as well, okay? Maybe it's not a tree ornament, but maybe it could be something for your window decor or on a wall or anywhere, on a door. So whatever. Oh, Betty, you know, we got lots of snow today and I haven't even been outside. I know it's so different not having Cooper to take him out outside anymore. So some days I don't go outside unless I've had to run somewheres. But today I've been inside crafting away and getting ready for the crafters tea. So anyway, so thank you for joining me, everybody. Just remember, if you need anything, let me know. I'll be seeing some of you Thursday or Friday for crafters tea. It's fun, and we will dress. Hopefully the roads are good, and dress in layers because you know this time of year it's hard to regulate the heat out there, and so on. So okay, hope to see you again on Friday. Thanks so much.